All right, guys, it's the end of the year, so we're going to have a look back at the review of 2023, who won what, all the tournaments with the gentlemen. So we're going to have a frame as well. So kick-off, first tournament of the year was the Championship League. Who won it?
There's a couple of them throughout the year, isn't there? Was that one John Higgins?
Well done.
Yeah,
well
he's
done.
very good at that. He normally comes in late. That's the one with all the groups, isn't it? He comes in, he normally pops in Group 7, wins the main one and goes home with all the money.
Do you play in that?
Yeah, I think I started in, you sort of get asked when you want to start.
Right.
And then it goes down the rankings basically.
So you basically have to win your group to get to the final group?
To the final group, yeah.
Right, okay.
Just give myself a little bit of credit here. I actually won the very first time it was staged.
Really?
2008.
Crondon Park?
Crondon Park, 2008. Yeah.
I think I won about 3 frames.
I think I beat... I started in Group 1. I eventually stayed in. I think I won Group 5. And then I won the final group. I think I beat Selby in the final.
Because do you still get 100 quid a century?
Yeah,
a frame?
no, just a frame.
A frame.
And then if you get in the last 4, obviously, then the money starts going up. You get bonuses for semis, finals.
Because you used to get players would just want to not win the group because that meant they were through. They used to just because then they play the next year and make more frames.
Well, you can, because very first year I entered it, Neil said to me, he said, "Oh, I'm not entering that, it's a load of rubbish, £100 a frame."
Yeah.
So I went off to play in Group 1, I lost in the semi-finals of Group 1, the final of Group 2, and I think I won about £8,500, £9,000.
Right.
And Neil said, "How'd you get on?" I said, "Yeah, it was all right." I said, "I won about £9,000. He went, "What? £100 a frame?" And then the next thing he done was ring Sharon at Matchroom and said, "I want to be in Group 3. So he jumped on it straight away. Yeah, no, and it's also really good like match practice.
Right.
You play so much snooker over a couple of days against good players.
But I think I'm right in saying that's the last tournament John Higgins won.
I think you might be right, yeah.
I mean, do you think he's coming to the end of being a winner? Or, I mean, it's hard to because he's so good.
But he's still class, isn't he?
Next tournament after that is, of course, the Masters. Winner, please.
That was Judd Trump, wasn't it?
Yep, Judd Trump beat Mark Williams in the final.
Yeah.
He didn't actually play that well, if I remember.
No. Yeah, that's right. I thought Mark was actually going to, because Mark played really well to get to the final, and then he just didn't really.
Obviously you got to the final of the Masters, didn't you?
Yeah.
What an atmosphere it is there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I still say that's the most nervous I've ever felt going into a snooker match. I felt all right in the daytime. I think we finished the first session 4-4. I was 4-1 up. And Ronnie didn't play well at all. I should have been going in 5-3, 6-2 up.
Okay.
And I let him off. He come back 4-all, and I stood at the top of the stairs. And I was just, I don't want to be here. I was literally so nervous.
It is incredible.
And I couldn't hold my key. I lost the first 3 frames like that. Just not through Ronnie being great. I just couldn't stand up. I was just so nervous. And I think I ended up losing 10-7. I sort of made a fight of it once I was beat, basically. From 8-4, I sort of played all right, but damn it, you can't. It's very rare he loses from there.
I know the venue is just it's just an incredible. I always say to people, if they've never been to a live snooker tournament, the Crucible obviously is amazing, but in terms of an occasion, the Masters is unbelievable. The next one is the World Grand Prix.
I know Murphy had a good run in those, but I don't think he won the Grand Prix. Did he win the Grand Prix? No, I don't think he did.
He is a player of the season.
Mark Allen?
Yeah.
Oh, you won that as well, did he? Yeah, I thought it, yeah.
Well, he'd won the UK before Christmas, hadn't he?
Yeah.
So what do you think of the change he made to his game? What I said was I was kind of critical of it, but then he won trophies. So what can you say?
I thought he sort of negated a lot of his strengths, to be honest.
Yeah.
You would encourage a player to play to his strengths. He seemed to sort of go against that. But what can you say? If someone changes their game and has instant success, then obviously it's the right thing to do. But he didn't seem as dangerous to me. But I never sort of.
Well, he just for me, he seemed to lose a bit of his rhythm.
Yeah.
Lose a bit of his natural. But he said because he did it because he wasn't playing at his best, so he found a way to win. So if you've got that in your locker.
If you can mix it up. Yeah, well, look, Selby is the prime example of that, isn't he? He can win not playing great. But the trouble is, I think Selby's probably the best at not potting a ball for 20 minutes and then he can make 100. There's not many players that can do that.
The shootout was the next one, Chris Wakelin. It just shows you what a tournament can change your life, change your career.
And he's won for me. He's improved immensely. You can't pick a winner at a shootout, but
no.
he was consistently getting better and better. And yeah, I think he'll be up sort of in the sort of 20s, 30s for a long time.
Next one is the tournament who won it the year after you, the Welsh Open.
My favourite snooker player, Rob Milkins.
Why is he your favourite?
He's my favourite snooker player for lots of reasons. One, just as he is as a person.
He's fantastic value.
I love watching him play. He's got the best walk-on song.
I mean, he basically gets down, points the cue and hits it.
I think it goes unnoticed a lot of the time.
Right.
You know, he can mix it. I would never think, oh, he's in the trouble here, he's playing Selby, because
it's a bit like Drago. Everyone thought he was just about playing fast, but his safety game is unreal.
Yeah, similar, yeah.
But I mean, what as I say, talk about turnarounds in careers and lives. I mean, the year, I mean, just unreal, right?
Oh, obviously I've spent a lot of time with Rob, you know, at various tournaments overseas and stuff, and you know, I sit with him watching other matches and the thing, and it's just his life.
He could be the best pundit ever.
But his life has been like you're not surprised that he never sort of fulfilled his potential with the way he lives his life. So I was like made up for him, because lots of snooker players deserve it, but for me, he was like so deserving of just getting a nice break and getting a few quid and sort of taking the pressure off life for a little while.
The Players' Championship.
Mr. Murphy was sort of blowing everyone out of the water, wasn't it? He was playing phenomenal snooker.
He won. Well, I mean, the other one, which is obviously in the calendar, is he won the Tour Championship as well. Do you think it's a coincidence that the two tournaments he won are on ITV when he's doing punditry and work for BBC, and he'd done nothing in those tournaments?
I'm in a completely different boat to people like Murphy, because you know, as much as I believe in myself, he goes to every tournament capable of winning it. And I don't think he should be doing the punditry. Not where he is in the game. Like, it's different for me. I'm sort of you know. He's
still, as you say, he's still
he goes to every tournament capable of winning it. He's in the top 10 of the bet in every single tournament. So he shouldn't be doing it, in my opinion. But he thinks it helps.
If I only just single out the World Championship, 17 days for you to win that, the stamina that it takes out of you, your time off is just as important as your time on the table. You've got to be switching off completely. And now if you have a tough 9-frame session, it's really, say it's 5-4, it's taken it out of you. And then 2 hours later you're going into commentating another 9-frame session. You might think it's just commentating, but it's still, you're there, you're in.
Well, this year I commentated the UK this year, just for a couple of days. And I wasn't in the tournament, but I still come and done the commentary. And I had 2 matches, went 6-5 in the afternoon. We literally finished at about 6:20, and was back on at 7. That went 6-5, and I was absolutely shattered at the end of the day. And all I'd done was sit in a box talking about snooker, but I was shattered. I wouldn't have wanted to play snooker the next day. Definitely not. No.
Because one of the luckiest things I had, I think Steve was the same. That I could nap, I could sleep, switch off.
Right.
And it's like a thing that's not spoken about, but I think it's just so important. So the World Championship, we said that Sean won the Tour Championship before it. Luca Brecel doesn't practice for 3 weeks and wins the World Championship. I mean, is that the most incredible thing?
Yeah.
And travel home every match.
I wasn't a fan of it. I don't like to hear it. I just think it just sounds awful, because you know, I know how hard it is to win a match at this game, and you spend hours and hours practicing, and he just rocks up like it just doesn't matter. But it worked for him that time. I don't think you can continue that in that vein.
No. I mean, he's. I think he's finding out with the start of the season he's had this year that it's. I spoke to him in the UK. I think he knows he's got to start knuckling down now. But one of the reasons, possibly, I think it was 4 attempts or 5 attempts he hadn't won a match at the Crucible, and he maybe thought, well, I'm just going to try something new. But what a breath of fresh air to win the championship playing that kind of snooker.
I wasn't keen on the things he said, but to watch him play was incredible, and it was fantastic.
So I don't think anyone else.
What snooker needed, and especially someone from mainland Europe winning as well. That was, that's brilliant for snooker long term. But yeah, he played snooker how we all want to play snooker. He just got on with it. He saw the balls, he potted them. He didn't really get involved in the other stuff.
I don't think anyone else would have beaten Selby in the final.
No.
Because he can just bring in his way of playing.
Yeah, I thought Selby was all wrong for him, and I just couldn't see him possible. I couldn't see him, as well as he played against Ronnie and against Williams. I just couldn't see him winning, but he just done a number on him. He did.
It would. Do you think he can? I mean, obviously, he obviously can win again. He's only young. He's got a whole career inside it. But do you think he can win again this season?
The Worlds,
or just win?
If he clicks, I I think it's a bit different. You know, I don't know what it's like to be world champion, but I'm guessing that was unlucky, Stephen. You almost potted that one. I'm guessing it's harder when you've got a big.
You're getting rid of it with sides.
Okay, yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd get rid of it. I think it's probably harder when you've got a big target on your back. You know, he's not at the World Championship. I'm not taking anything away from him. It was incredible, but like he wasn't expected to beat Mark Williams. He wasn't expected to beat Ronnie O'Sullivan. He was expected to win the semi-final, and he almost bodged that up. Yeah. He wasn't expected to win the final. Now he's sort of like going in as world champion. He's expected to win, and I'm guessing it's not that easy. Well,
you've got to enjoy it. You've got to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, then fine. But I think he's a kind of character that's just, I don't know. It's just nothing seems to faze him.
He can win anything.
If he didn't win a match until and then won the Crucible.
Yeah, again, I'd never be surprised by anything he does, really. On the snooker table.
Maybe I should try the stance then.
Yeah, you went all Carr and Wilson on me then for a minute.
Going to the start of this season now, first tournament, Barry Hawkins. I think his first title for 6 years or something like that.
Yeah.
He should never be out of the top 16.
No,
right?
he's probably the most consistent, solid, all-round snooker player that doesn't get on the winner's podium that often. You know, if you're going to start playing snooker and you want to, like Barry Hawkins just got everything.
Yeah.
I don't know why he doesn't win more often, to be honest. I don't know.
He's one of those where at the start of a tournament, he'll never be amongst the sort of 4 or 5 you say are good fancy to win, but you would never be surprised if he does win it. No. Because he just everything he does is so good.
Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't win more often.
Yeah.
But again, because it's just so hard to win.
Shanghai Masters, obviously an invitation event. Ronnie won it. Do you think? I mean, he's just won the UK, which obviously we may as well talk about that as well. But he's just picking and choosing his tournaments now. Obviously, he's pulled out 3 tournaments in the UK this season. Yeah, he's turned up the UK, won it. He's turned up the Shanghai, won it.
I don't want it to get to the stage where he sort of wins when he wants, but you know, he's that good. It almost seems that way. You know, if he really likes the tournament he's at, likes the city, likes the people, likes the format, then you've really got to go some to beat him. What I'm seeing now though is it's all about the win. Where he used to say he'd rather have a good performance than win, and it's come around full circle now where he's not bothered about the performance. It's about getting the result. Yeah. And it's like and I think it's making him a more dangerous opponent. Yeah, because a lot of the times, you know, he used to beat himself a lot of the times you know, because all right, he's gonna end up being the most decorated snooker player we ever see. I told you they were tight. But he went through a spell in his career, you know, for someone as good as him, he sort of missed a few tournaments he probably could have won had he had this mentality then. But it's just phenomenal, isn't he? And you know, if he turns, like I say, if he turns up and he's happy to be there, then he's probably still the man to beat, regardless of who's playing well. In terms of like a prediction for next year, do you think he'll win the 8th next year? Do you think he will win an 8th? I tend to think he needs to do it either next year or the year after. Yeah, and then possibly he won't. Again, I think snooker players say a lot of things. I'm not calling Ronnie a liar, but I think he wants to win 8. Why would you not? You know, why would you not? So I said to him on this, I said, look, when I won equaled Steve's at 6, the next day I knew I had to win 7. Because what's the point? And I said, you must be the same. And of course he didn't admit it. But of course he wants to win 8. Of course he does. Because he's a winner at the end of the day. Yeah, because he said that when he had 6, he wasn't bothered about equaling your 7, but he was. Yeah. And again, like you say, why wouldn't you be? You know. So you think he'll win 8? I think it'll be. And I agree with you. I think it'll be. I think it'll be this year sooner rather than later, or next year. Yeah. I think, you know, time creeps up on everyone, doesn't it? I know he's super fit and everything, but it will get much harder as the years go by. So I think he's probably got 2 more visits to the Crucible of sweating, Stephen. I'm going to try and put a ball here. Williams won the British Open. He's just unbelievable as well, right? Yeah, incredible. Yeah, again, you know, I turned pro the same year as them. I went all through the juniors, suffering at the hands of them. You know, they're phenomenal. The three of them.
Because everyone forgets that you turned pro the same year.
No, I hate it. Like class, they say class. I wasn't. I'd just say, just bat it off and say I was in the same school, but I wasn't in the same class. Yeah, I grew up within the juniors, and Mark Williams was always just incredible. And for me, he seems like he's still getting better. Yeah.
He's one that I learn shots from watching commentating.
Yeah, so clever.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and he seems to be. I know he's always been, but people used to say about him like he doesn't score as heavy as the others and stuff. But now he does.
How did that not go?
Play safe, did you? Yeah. No, he scores. I think he scores much heavier than he ever did.
Well, he wants to now. He's trying to now. He never used to bother before. He just win the frame. And I mean, have you ever known anyone have a temperament like him?
No.
He just doesn't give a.
It's the best.
About anything.
They talk about temperaments in the game, but for me, he's just.
I've never known anyone not bother about losing a match.
No.
Like that. We talked about that match with Neil Robertson, the Masters. If I'd have lost that match, you'd have found me somewhere in a ditch somewhere.
Yeah.
I'd seen him 2 minutes later. He said, "I'll book my tea time for tomorrow."
Yeah.
Going home playing golf. I mean,
yeah, and you know, I'm sure you spent enough time with him. You know, he does come out of a lot of old flannel, but that in that regard, in terms of like being disappointed and stuff, that is genuine. He just shrugs it off. He just deals with it.
Then we go 3 tournaments in a row for Judd Trump: English Open, Wuhan Open, Northern Ireland Open. I mean, he obviously about 4 or 5 years ago he won 5 ranking tournaments in 6. Yeah. I must admit, last year I didn't know where they'd do that again. I just thought his game was getting a bit, especially under pressure. I thought he was becoming a bit vulnerable, but then he's come out back to his best again.
Now he's confident again. He's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I just love
that triple, like one after the other. You must know to be able to sustain that level of form, and even if you're not playing well, just to keep winning match after match after match, day after day.
Yeah, because that was
as impressive as actually winning the tournaments. Just to keep turning up every day and doing it.
Yeah.
Well, I watched Ronnie do it in 90. I know it was a completely different level, but when he done it in Blackpool in 92, he won like 72 out of 73.
Yeah.
Like every single day. Okay, a lot of them were holiday makers and stuff, but you still got to do it day in, day out.
Well, the thing is with Trump is though, the schedule, he'd never had a day off.
No.
Basically, the 3 tournaments like 3 weeks in a row. Yeah. Literally. China in the middle.
Yeah, I think you've got to have a certain level of fitness. You've got to have a certain level of mental fitness. I couldn't, you know, even if I was playing my best snooker and I was winning, I don't think I could concentrate that hard for 3 weeks. I would definitely have a few days off.
Zhang Anda won in China, which is, where's he come from? Got to the final English Open, then wins an International Open in China, maximum in the final. I mean, where's he come from?
Yeah, but I as you as well, you know, he's always had it. Maybe I don't know what the difference is. No idea. Couldn't put my finger on it.
Mark Allen won the Champion of Champions, which is always like a sort of right. We're gonna have a black ball game.
Yeah, you might win this one.
Yeah, Mark Allen, Champion of Champions. Destroyed Trump in the final. Playing a lot better, I think, than when he won the tournaments last year.
He's capable of that, isn't he, Mark? You know, because he plays like he's got an incredible game, but he plays like a percentage game, so he can sort of like stifle an opponent if he has to, and if he doesn't miss easy balls, and like Judd missed a couple in the final. Yeah. I watched the first session, and it was.
Well, he made a clearance and the pink shouldn't have gone in.
Yeah, I think it was 5-0, and it could have easily been 3-2 to Judd, and then, you know, at that level, it's hard to sort of come back from that.
Would you have played that shot, mate, or if you won the toss? Would you have played? Because I think you should. That's quite an easy shot.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it's just automatic, autopilot, isn't it? You win the toss and let them go.
So, is there any predictions you make for next season? Anything?
Well, I've got to say, haven't I? You know, I'm in his corner now, so Neil will make a resurgence. He'll come back. Well, he might have to qualify for the Worlds this year.
Oh yeah.
Wow. There's every chance, because he hasn't entered Scotland. He's got to win. I think he's got to win Germany or the Welsh,
right,
to probably stop him from having to qualify for the Worlds.
I mean, imagine drawing Neil Robertson in the first round.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? All of a sudden, the pressure's completely switched round then.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he'll win the Worlds, but he won't keep getting beat in the last 64.
Why do you think he's only won one? I mean, again, we go back to who's won it instead of him. It's so difficult to win, but he should have won more than one, shouldn't he?
Yeah. Well, it's, you know, look at someone like Barry Hawkins, okay? He's a brilliant player.
Yeah.
He's had more one-table setups appearances than Neil Robertson.
Yeah.
And he hasn't won it, and he's not won the tournaments Neil's won. But he's only been to the one-table setup once since he won it.
Right.
And, you know, and he's talking about a serial winner. He's gone into the tournament favourite, I think, 2 or 3 times above Ronnie in the betting.
Yeah.
You know, and then I think he's just, I don't know why he hasn't won it. He's made a lot of excuses as to why he hasn't won it, which are rubbish. It is just rubbish.
Well, I mean, this the venue's too small and all.
Well, if it was too small, he would never have won it in the first place. He'd never win matches. He had his little run of getting beaten in the quarter-final, where I think he's thinking, if I get to the one table, I'm sort of there, and I think he probably just distracted him a little bit. But I think he'll come back. I think
it has to. I mean, he's too good not to.
Yeah,
he's too. But the thing is, when you've been that good and gone down, that makes it so much harder to come back, I think. But I think he will do. He will do.
Oh, one of my better ones.
Okay, I love Jack Lazowski.
I'll give you a name who's going to win one before Jack. I think Tom Ford will win a ranking event before Jack Lazowski.
I'm done. I mean, I just love watching Jack play.
I'd love him to win, because I think he'd be great for snooker, great for him. He's a wonderful player. Like you say, there's not many better on the eye than Jack.
No.
And when he plays great, he's just brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. It's going to get much harder. It's going to get much, much harder for him.
I don't know.
You can't miss these on the TV table. It's impossible.
Why? Pocket's too big?
Yeah.
Joe, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Cheers, Stephen.
Thank you for having us in
No problem.
Chatteris. And tell us about, you got a new club opening here.
Yeah, there's a big place in the town. It was a night. It was the Palace Ballroom for years.
Right.
Then it was a nightclub. Then it was recently been a Turkish restaurant. I'm taking it over. Going to turn it into like a snooker pool sports bar.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, hopefully as the sort of transition happens, something else to sort of focus on. And so looking forward to that.
I wish you all the success in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.